Hi, my name is Anita Powell. I'm going to talk about funding. Recently, in the area that I live in, I noticed that there was an issue with regards to funding. And what I mean was I noticed that quite a bit of money had been applied for. And I, as a resident, this wasn't my professional me, as a resident, I had some concerns. And I'm going to talk about funding in general, really, because I work in the sector, I work in the community sector, and I see that so many organisations and different types of organisations struggle with the funding game. So a lot of organisations actually struggle just to get funding because it's actually a skill to write a funding application. I know funders, kind of to them, because it's their profession, they might not necessarily realise it's a skill, but to somebody else who's a deliverer, writing a funding application to a funder is actually, might be equivalent of writing a dissertation. That's how they might feel. So there's loads of organisations out there that have the capacity to make change. They have the capacity to engage with communities that are considered to be hard to reach. They have the skill set to have an impact on communities, but they don't have necessarily the experience, knowledge to be effective at filling in forms, at managing the actual business at hand, and doing the accounts, doing the marketing. So a lot of businesses, a lot of organisations in the third sector at the grassroots level struggle to succeed, not because they haven't got the capacity to succeed, it's because they haven't got funding in place to cover core funding. So core funding covers things such as an admin person, covers things like the building, and covers electricity and heating and laptops and computers and accountants and marketing people. So they haven't necessarily got the skill set, and they haven't got the skill set to write the bids to get the money in to do the foundation of what all organisations need. And then they struggle to optimize with regards to success. And I can see that it's really frustrating to watch when somebody, say for instance, is really good at working with young kids who, say for instance, are in gangs, so they can engage with them, they know how to get young kids out of gangs, they know how to get them to college, university, get them to, because sometimes people forget that young kids in gangs are actually, some of them are actually really intelligent because they're running a little business. I know it's an illegal business, but they're running a business. So sometimes there's so much intelligence within gangs, but they've kind of gone the wrong route. And there's people out there who are actually really good at working with young people who are on that pathway, but they may not necessarily be a good accountant, or good at filling in forms, or good at marketing. And because of that, their organisation, which can actually make a difference, struggle to make a difference because they can't pay the bills. They're working voluntarily, but they have needs. They've got mortgage and children. And so for some people in the third sector, helping people and being good at helping people actually damages their success because they haven't got the skill set to raise the funds. But one of my other frustrations are that there's organisations out there that are so admin top heavy that they're really good at getting the funds. They're organisations that have chief executives, they have marketing people, they have accountants, they've got somebody dedicated to just social media. And I generally find that a lot of these organisations are so detached from actually making engagement with the clients that they seek money for, that they, in my eyes, they struggle to actually have an impact. They don't know their client base. Sometimes organisations that are so admin heavy apply for funding and they don't have any clients or any access to clients that they apply funding for. They get the money and then they think, oh, how do we actually deliver? Because we don't actually know what to deliver, who to deliver to, how. We don't know how to show outcomes. We don't know nothing. And to me, it's really frustrating because they've got loads of money. They're not going to get outcomes because they don't know how. And organisations that have the capacity to get outcomes, don't know how to get money. And then they sometimes struggle or fail because of that. And that's the frustration of funding.